Welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Greetings, gentlemen, ladies. This is Prioritize. Here we discuss prioritizing faith, family, relationships, and more. I am your crazy white, formerly fat host, the Baker Boy himself. Welcome to the show. It's here. It is finally here, the day we've waited for all year long. Oh my word, it's the kickoff to the Christmas season. I recently had a friend of mine share a bunch of memes with me about this particular holiday. And I don't know what day you're listening to this. And if you're listening today, on this day, I wish you the best Thanksgiving ever. I really do. It's been a tough couple of years, has it not? Whew, but we're still here. Not sure where you are right now, but we're here. Anyway, he was telling me there's a meme with there's three different things out here. There's a witch. There's who's the other two? This is a bummer. I can't even think about it right now. There's a witch, a turkey, and Santa Claus. They're all driving separate vehicles in separate lanes, right? You got a 3-lane highway. And there's the witch in her vehicle driving down the road. And then in the next lane is the turkey in his vehicle, and he's driving down the road. And then you got Santa Claus in the sleigh, and he's all over all 3 lanes. And they're like, hey, get in your own lane, fat man. Right? I mean, do you kind of feel that way as you're walking through the stores in October and they're playing Christmas music and they got the Christmas decorations out? And I know, if you're a retail store, this is your biggest money maker the entire year. In fact, I've been told and I've learned and I've read.
What? When did this start? You read?
I know, hard to comprehend. But the retail stores actually start planning for this season back in February. So in a couple of months, they'll be planning for the following Christmas season. And if you're offended by Christmas, by me saying the word Christmas because I celebrate Christ this time of year, hey, well, you shouldn't pick up offenses so easily. I don't know what to tell you. Or you could change the channel. You could delete the podcast. I would understand. I'm not going to be mad at you, but hey, thank you for sticking around. Honestly, I appreciate it, and it probably sounds very candid, so let me try with more of a sincere sound, because I do. Honestly, I mean it in the spirit. I appreciate your listening. I appreciate your email, your comments, your encouragement, because believe it or not, this isn't the only thing that I do. It would sound that way, right? Like, I'm the kind of guy who's got no friends. I got no relatives. I got nothing to keep me busy. So I sit in front of a microphone all day. And that could be the case in a couple years. Who knows? I honestly hope that's not the case. I don't know why that would be the case. I'm affable. I don't even know what that means. I just remember hearing that from Jeff Daniels on the show Newsroom. Have you ever seen Newsroom? Oh man, if you haven't, you have to give that a watch. The writer on this thing has got a phenomenal record behind him. A Few Good Men, Being the Ricardos. You guys seen Being the Ricardos yet? Moneyball, The Social Network, Steve Jobs. I mean, he's got a long list of very highly successful programs. Aaron Sorkin, just an incredible talent. It's well written. It's well scripted. There's great dialogue. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good watch. I highly recommend it. My whole family watches this thing, and it's really hard trying to find decent shows with all those elements, right? Where it's got good dialogue, you got comedy, you got some drama, you got some tense situations. This has all that. It's got it all. You know, we weren't really going there, but we did anyway, because that's how we do it in Prioritize. It is here, though. The kickoff, the day that we look forward to, where it kicks off It kicks off Thanksgiving. It kicks off the holiday season for us. I fast all throughout the year. We do a little fasting. Have you heard of fasting before, where you kind of don't eat for a little bit? Maybe you're just drinking water, tea, or coffee, and you're not really, ingesting any kind of goodies food-wise. We do the same thing with Christmas movies, Christmas music. We don't listen to that the rest of the year, so that when it gets here, it's fresh, it's new, it's something that we yearn for come like June, July. It's like, go for some Christmas music. But no, we're not going to listen to it, because I don't want to listen to it every single day. It gets old that way. It gets older faster. It'd be like wearing your favorite jacket every day, and then sooner before later, you get tired of it. Like, I don't want this jacket anymore. Once it gets to September, October, that's when the boys are really like, hey, it's time to watch some Christmas movies. Like, no, we got a rule around here. Everything goes in the vault until Black Friday, at which point we can pull all that out. Now, if we got Halloween-style movies, we got Thanksgiving-style movies, of course, we watch those, November, October. In fact, Joyce and I were just watching, oh man, this is such a good movie. You guys seen this one? It's called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles from 1987. Oh, such a good movie. It's one of my favorites with John Candy. Of course, Steve Martin is in there, the iconic, the unforgettable, the legendary. And the both of them together, just smashing. And it was so well done from John Hughes. He was so, oh man, I miss that guy. When it comes to movies, who's creative anymore? No, let's remake Planes, Trains. Are you kidding me? Wanted to bring those people aside and smack them right in the face, several times in the face. In fact,
Did it make you want to shoot them and burn them in desert?
no, we're not going there.
We never go there anymore. How come we never go there?
We are not a promoter of violence on this program towards people. When it comes to cats, it's totally different.
Oh, I saw what you did there. That's very good.
I miss John Hughes, especially when it comes to nostalgia of things. When it comes to the movies, he was spot on. He knew what he was doing. He knew his audience, too. I'm pretty certain that today's filmmakers and TV show makers in their writing rooms, I don't believe they have a good feel for the audience. Maybe that's just me. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We were watching that last. It's a tearjerker. It is. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I mean, by the end of the movie, I'm bawling. If you haven't seen it, I'm probably going to ruin it for you. I don't even know how we're friends. How are you listening to this program? You haven't listened. That should be one of the prerequisites to you becoming a prioritizer. Have you watched Planes, Trains? You haven't? You don't even know what movie I'm talking about? There's the door. I was pointing in the wrong direction. Where did the door go? There's no door here. John, where's the door? John's not even listening. He never listens.
Why this guy?
Planes, Trains, they just don't make them like that anymore. That was a phenomenal movie. That's one of the movies that kicks it off for us. We are traditions. We're prioritizing traditions today. And I'm so glad you stopped by. I really am. Thanks for listening to the program. This means a lot to me. We have quite a few traditions in our family. We normally watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with the whole family, with everybody there, with Joyce and our three boys. And Joyce says, well, the boys already watched it. What? Whoa! What? When did this happen? We watched this thing together. Well, they watched it last week after we did our, fittings. Well, okay. They should have stayed here after our fittings. How did they do this after the fittings? What are the fittings, you ask? I'm so glad you did. I was really excited about this. We have this, we've been going to a lot of concerts lately over the past few years since we became debt-free. We've really been enjoying them. They are so much fun. And you're probably like, of course, duh, moron. I know. That's me. It's me in a nutshell. Look, no, here's me in a nut. How did I get in this crazy nut? Sorry, flashback. Austin Powers, missed that too. We started going to these concerts, and we're going to another one from Straight No Chaser. This time it's going to be at the Embassy Theater. And I started thinking, hey, what if we all had jackets, sport coats, nice jackets, and some dress shirts? Lately, I've realized the boys are back to T-shirts and jeans. I'm like, hey, it's time for some grown folk clothes, okay? I know you got sweaters, and I say, let's dress it up a little bit. Next thing I see them, they're in a polo. This is not dressing it up, fellas. This isn't dressing up. This is casual. I'm saying, I don't care if you wear jeans. It's fine. I'm probably going to wear jeans. But, suit jacket, a nice fitted suit jacket and a dress shirt. And I'm like, okay, Dad. If you say so. Anything to get you off my case. And I'm not on their case. I'm not saying they got to wear this every single day. Just, a few times a week. Kidding. See what I did there? We went with, we couldn't get them all together the first time around, which is cool. I took Chris, and we're rolling around, and we started out at the Salvation Armies and the Goodwills. Oh, I know, you're like, what are you, a cheapskate? Hey, come on. I mean, they honestly, first off, they don't wear it that often. I'd like them to wear it often. But if you've never been to a Goodwill or a Salvation Army, I highly recommend you go. Because you don't have to spend, $500 or $800 for a nice jacket. Sometimes people get tired of stuff, right? This is how we got our whole collection of China. I didn't go to Mikasa. I didn't go to... Who sells China today? Penny's? No, not Macy's? Did Macy's sell to China? I don't know. And it's probably not made in China. That's kind of weird. Everything else is made in China. Why would you not make China in China? I just did a full circle in my brain. Sorry, I have to wait till it stops spinning. So we went to Goodwill and Salvation Army years ago when we started hosting Thanksgiving. I couldn't get my mom to bring over, for her to do the China, because she's got this great China set at a China hut. I don't think she ever uses it. It just sits there. It's like the Porsche in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He never drives it. They just rub it with a diaper. So I said, Mom, can you bring over... we're going to host. Can you bring over the China? No, son, I can't do that very much. I just said it looks so nice sitting in the hutch. One day you're going to have to get your own China. You're going to catch pneumonia, okay? I love you. I got to go. And that's Mom. All right, fine. I'll get my own China. And I started seeing in the Goodwills and the Salvation Armies, they have China from all over the place. Now, it's not always a matching China, and that's okay. I don't care about that. I just don't want to use styrofoam and paper plates for a meal as important and iconic and annual. It's not like we're doing this every single week. Are there people out there that do this every week? It's not our family. So if you're, God bless you if you're doing this every week. We do this like once a year with Thanksgiving. Now, we'll also pop it out because we'll host the Mother's Day brunch and the Father's Day cookout, and throughout the year we got the gift of hospitality. We love doing this. One of the things that we've been doing with the boys is going to the concerts, and we wanted to get jackets and shirts. So I'm taking Chris out. We started at the Goodwill and the Salvation Army, and unfortunately, he didn't have his fit. He's not an average fit. He's a tall, thin guy. I'm a short. Now, I'm not like super slim, but I'm not, super heavy duty either. I'm like the kind of the easy to fit guy, but I still like a good tailored jacket. So we went over to, what did we go, Macy's, I think, next, because they had a broad selection, and we got them fitted. And I'm like, hey, let's see if we can find this on eBay. Turns out we found one on eBay, several $100s less, a Joseph Abood, a very sharp-looking jacket. Oh, wait, was this the Jones, New York? Can't remember which one we ordered, because I've now ordered 3 jackets and 3 shirts, all custom fit. And we still might have to take it to the tailor, and that's okay. I want it to fit well, want it to look good for this event. Like, we don't go to concerts every week either, every month even. But we do try to get to a few every year. And apparently, after their fittings, they went over to Michael's house, and then they watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And I just found this out last night. Are you kidding me? What? My dreams were crashed and dashed, and I had to clean them up. What are you going to do? I mean, the boys that grow up and they start with their own traditions, I get it, but man, it is so hard. I don't like letting this stuff go. I really don't. I love it. I love it. God gave me that yearning for community, that desire for community, and man, we got a great one in our family. I hope you guys do too. If you're listening and you got family, I sincerely hope y'all got a great community right within your family where they're dependable. Where we got this great thing. I can't remember when we started this. I want to say years ago. We don't do a hold the hands and pray. We do a thing called a Baker Family Prayer Huddle. You ever seen football? Are you familiar with this game where they throw a pigskin around and they bash each other's brains out for 2 hour, 3 hours on a Sunday, and then there's a winner at the end and they get a bunch of money? In that game, they do a huddle and they all come around and they're talking or they're praying or they're sharing family recipes. I'm not sure. That's what we do when we get together for prayer. We'll come together, we get the huddle going, and then we pray. I like it. It's a little different than just the holding of the hands. You're coming together, there's that kind of a group hug type feel. That's something we enjoy. That one, again, was free, and you're welcome. We got this thing we actually have two items. Well, the one in the kitchen, the other's in the dining room. This was a huge tradition. I guess it circled around the tradition when I was a kid. And it was several years ago when we picked it up. I had a friend of mine with me. I still remember this because he talks about this day all the time. I don't get it. It meant so much to him, which is good. I'm happy for the guy. But we had to go up to Michigan to pick this up, and we met with Mom. I don't remember if we met at their house or if we met at McDonald's. For some reason, we stopped at McDonald's years ago, and we had breakfast with Mom, and it was great. Mom paid, we ate. We had a great breakfast, a lot of laughs and stories told, and then we go over to Grandma Baker's house, and she wasn't living there anymore. So they're trying to clear out all the stuff behind and kind of take what you want that you're going to like or care about, and they had this thing there still, and I'm like, this is what I want. It brought back so many memories. I'm going over to Grandma's house, and she always had this, I can't remember I just saw the name of this particular dish in a store. I didn't even know they still made it, but it's like candy dish, but it's in the shape of a comb. It's like a crystal dish or a glass dish, and you pick off the top. And then inside, she had this sparkly candy. I think most of it was cherry or strawberry. It always looked very strange. I wasn't sure that I wanted to eat any of it. And I saw other people, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. It was in her hutch. It was in Grandma's hutch, this candy dish. And she had china in the hutch. And she had the silverware. She'd pop the silverware out every Thanksgiving, and she'd polish it up and set it all out on the tables. Of course, I was at the kiddie table all the time until I got married and had kids. Then I finally made it to the adult table. Well, both that adult table and the hutch are now in our home. And it's so cool for me. And it probably didn't mean anything to you, and that's okay. But every time I walk by, I'm like, God, this was Grandma's hutch. Now it holds our china that we use year round. It holds some of our bourbon. It holds some of the other dishes. We got recipe books in there. I mean, the thing gets utilized. So I'm trying to think how old this must be, because I remember it when we were going there like 30, 35 years ago. And I had asked Mom, and she said it was there as long as she remembers going since I was a baby. So that's, 45 years ago, that thing was there. And the table because they match, it's the same patina wood. So we now have the table. I remember this table being like, this was the table. Grandma used this thing to death, and it still stood the test of time. It would be the Christmas table and the dining, where they ate. It's where they ate. And then as soon as they're done eating, they take that away. They bring out she'll pull off half of the tablecloth, And then upon that would rest all of the appetizers for the rest of the afternoon and the evening. And they would Grandma would receive do you guys ever do Christmas gifts opening at Thanksgiving? A lot of times that's when we did it when I was a kid, because that's when everyone was able to come around, and then we would share presents and open them up, and you get to see the faces, and it was fun. It was just fun. It was like, that was family for us, family getting together. And I've asked Mom this several times. I don't remember who they were, but they always smelled like vinegar when they arrived. I didn't understand it. Was there a perfume that was popular in the 80s called vinegar? That's how they smelled. I'd imagine today, I know it's a cleaning product, it's supposed to be healthy. I can't stand the smell of it. Unless it's in barbecue sauce, then you can't really, you can't smell it anyway. It just adds the flavor. In passing out the presents, we knew Grandma was always going to get from one of the, my dad or the uncles or the aunts. She was going to get this puzzle. They would spend the next couple of days putting the puzzle together. I remember one day when Thanksgiving, all us kids are on the ground. We got Back to the Future on the screen because that's the only cool movie that Grandma had over there. And we're, screwing around with these toys that you could literally hit each other with and probably break a muscle or something. Nobody breaks muscles anymore. Sorry, break a bone. Back then it was muscles. That's because we were a totally different country. And we're kind of horsing around in the living room. It's right next to the dining room. And they're putting the puzzle together. And I hear this huge slam. I was like, what was that? And I think it was Uncle Al. I was like, that's where that piece goes right there. Apparently he forced a puzzle piece. He was so frustrated, and I get it, because this is why I don't do puzzles. I'm like, why doesn't this piece fit in this slot? All the shapes are the same. That's not true. I do puzzle pieces. Normally, they're the total of like 5 puzzle pieces or 10. They're for the big kid puzzles because they're big, really big pieces. Grandma would get like 500 or 1,000, and I don't know if she ever got into the reversibles. That's insane. Those kinds of puzzles. I don't know who thought of that. That person needs to be.
Oh, I know. Shot in the bird in the desert.
No, probably not. So what kind of traditions do you got around your family? We got so much around the hutch and our dining table, which was their dining table with the Baker family dining table, and it's lasted all these years. I mean, at least 45 years, and we do Thanksgiving around this table. We host Thanksgiving, to everybody coming in. That's the reason we got the china, and everybody brings something. I organize this as best as humanly for me. But some people don't even call me human. That's okay. But I talk with them individually. I'm talking with, my Auntie Beth and Uncle Gordon. Hey, what do you guys want to bring? What do you enjoy bringing? What do you enjoy cooking? And making sure that we don't have 3 bowls of green bean casserole around the house. And I love making the garlic cheddar mashed potatoes. Have you ever made the garlic cheddar mashed potatoes? Are you familiar with the mashed potatoes with the garlic and the cheese and the sharp cheddar and the sour cream? See, you got to substitute the water with milk and sour cream. That's what gives it that uber good, just rich and also so good. And then you got the cheddar cheese in oh man, that's a good carb right there. That is worth if my health coaches are all listening, I would never consume that. I'm just saying it is a phenomenal dish. Of course, I am training to be a health coach, so you have to move some things around, but once a year, not gonna kill you. And does anybody die on Thanksgiving from overeating? I don't think so. They gain too many pounds. They wind up sleeping. They do havoc on their not their immune system, so the digestive system, because the system's like, whoa, I thought we were going on healthy street. What is all this stuff? And they've got to reverse gears, and they're doing all the crazy stuff. And then people talking about, time to don the sweatpants for Thanksgiving Day. Does anybody do that? I've never seen. None of my family gatherings at Thanksgiving time or especially Christmas, we put on suits the boys don't. They will be this time. They're going to wear suits. They're getting their jackets and their shirts. It's fitted. It's going to be great. They're wearing that stuff. And if you guys are listening, yes, you are. Yes, you're going to wear the jackets for Christmas feast this year. We do a feast. We do the steak and the ribeye, and sometimes we do the medallions with the bacon and the, so good, and asparagus and green beans and strawberry cake, because that's what Jesus would have wanted for his birthday. So strawberry cake. It's important to prioritize traditions throughout the year. It carries on what we did yesterday to what we're doing today and what they'll do tomorrow. Who's they? Our family. Our boys, your daughters, your sons. Carry on those traditions. Or, hey, start a new tradition. We started, instead of Black Friday shopping, going out and trying to blaze those crowds and overcome just the madness so that you can save a few pennies or, I don't know, a couple $100. I mean, you're in line for hours. What insanity. And then I learned later, after studies, that they actually design specific tech toys for those holidays. So you're not getting the same quality as you were if you were to buy it in, I don't know, February. If you bought that display, the TV, sorry, I work in the audiovisual industry. So if you bought that TV in February, you're buying a completely differently engineered television than had you bought it in Black Friday. So instead of bracing the cold for hours on end, standing in line. My wife went to Kohl's on Black Friday, just like mid-morning or late morning on Black Friday. She went to Kohl's and she saw the line and then she walked back out. She was like, it was wrapped all the way around the store. And I think, are you kidding me? Is our time worth so little we're willing to give up 3 hours of our time to stand in line to save how many dollars on stuff? Hopefully it was worth it. Hopefully they got the value for that, for the stuff that you bought, or you got the value for it. Probably sounds like I'm hating on you. No, I just want to offer you a different perspective. You can't get the time back. It's gone. You can probably get the money back or earn a few extra dollars or save a few extra dollars for the holiday season to spend that money on a day when you're not waiting in line for 3 hours. Joyce's brother, Eric, my brother-in-law, he's got this phenomenal way of looking at buying stuff. And he did this before it was cool. Before I even heard Dave Ramsey talking about it with the Ramsey Group. And maybe he did it, many years earlier. I just didn't hear Ramsey say it until after I heard Eric say it. So I give props to Eric where props is he's kind of a crazy guy, but otherwise he did have this spot on. And he would look at a sweater or a shirt or a video game and he'd say, how many hours I got to work to pay for this? And I'm like, that's an interesting way to look at it. I had not looked at stuff in that fashion before. How many hours do I need to work in order to pay for the sweater? Is it worth my time, that sweater, that pair of jeans? I bring these up because I'm wearing a new sweater from Carbon to Cobalt, and we just got these jeans in I bought them off eBay. They're a polo with the button fly. You didn't ask for any of this. I'm just telling you it so you can get a nice picture. Not that you care. I don't know. Button fly polo jeans, and they fit so good. I'm so happy with them. The sweater looks great, and I appreciate you asking, by the way. How does it look, Toby? Nobody cares about your wardrobe. Go on! I know. I don't even remember where we were. I think it was Black Friday. So instead of bracing the crowds, we now put up our Christmas tree on Black Friday. We'll all descend on our household, the boys from their respective places and homes. And then there's us, and we have this beautiful spread on the dining room table. We got shrimp and kielbasa, bacon wrapped kielbasa. We'll have the little smokies and sauce. There's wine, there's grape juice, there's bourbon, did we do candy? I don't think we did candy. I think we do homemade Chex Mix. These guys are killing me. I went on the 5-in-1 plan for 2 weeks so that I'm pretty set. Like I'm kind of happy with my weight. I might want to get down to 175, but I'm otherwise comfortable where I am right now at a very comfortable $199. I went on the 5-in-1 plan, and it seemed like everything was conspiring against me, right? I was working with my colleague as an audiovisual technician. We're in the air in like 28-degree weather. We're installing these speakers on light posts, working around the city crew who is at the same time installing their snowflake LED lights on the light posts. You know, the lights when you drive through a city or a town, a small town, and they got all the Christmas ornaments on the light posts. That's what I'm talking about. We're the guys on the other side installing the speakers so that they can blast out their Christmas music and continue with the festive season, which I like. I appreciate that. I do. I like when I'm rolling around. We have a circle. One of those huge monuments. You drive around and the Christmas music is playing. If you roll your window down just a smidgen, you can hear it pretty clear, and it sounds very nice, especially when it's snowing out and the whole town is lit up with Christmas decor, and it's just beautiful. I love it. I love this time of year. This is definitely one of my favorites. And Black Friday, instead of going out and killing ourselves to save $100 on a TV, we go home. We stay home. We make hot cocoa on the stove. Are you making the hot cocos on the stove, where you got the water and the actual cocoa powder, or better yet, you melt a Hershey's bar and a candy cane inside the milk? Some people use a half and half. That's getting a little heavy for me. And then you pour that into a cup of marshmallows. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. I love it. What are your traditions? What do you enjoy doing? What are you going to start doing? One of the new things we started doing was at this time of year, our sons and I, we will pick out the worst martial arts movie we can find. I mean, it's got to be bad. Not good, bad, like in a bad way. Like you want to stop it 5 minutes in. Like, this is so horrible. Why do we do this to ourselves? I think it's you subject yourself to the bad so you yearn for the good ones. And one year, I could not continue. I couldn't get through it. I think I showed him, we watched a screening of American Ninja, which is a bad 80s movie. And then, but it's good enough that you watch it, you're like, this is so bad. Why does he have a laser on his wrist? What? He watched, he brought in this one called Zombies versus Ninjas, or Ninjas versus Zombies. I'm like, oh, this okay, let's do this. I don't know if they intentionally made it this horrible. It was, I mean, it gave it gave new meaning to the word horrible. It was so bad. We had to stop at like 10 minutes in. I'm like, okay, Nick, you get the trophy for life. Bad martial arts movie. You win forever and ever. We're still going to continue this tradition just because it's fun, right? You come in and you grab your favorite healthy snack, and you're sitting there and you're making fun of this martial arts movie. And oh, this one was so bad. It was just horrible. It was called, I think it's Ninjas versus Zombies, or the other way around, if you're interested in subjecting yourself to it. But it's so horrible. And of course, we watched all the good, the natural Christmas movies, and then we'll get through them kind of quickly, and then we're like, maybe watch something else. So we watched a couple of those Hallmark movies. It's not Hallmark. It's Hallmark, right? Hallmark. No, I keep saying Hallmark. I don't mean to say Hallmark, but I said it again. Hallmark. I meant to say Hallmark Christmas movies because they make them all year round. My mom watches it. Mom and Dad. They love them. I don't understand it. It's the same thing over and over and over again. So we'll watch one or two just to make fun of it. I mean, just out of sheer... I've heard there's a drinking game around this. I don't know exactly what it is, but like when you see snow, it's snowing, then you take a shot. And when there's carolers caroling, then you take a shot. When they're inside a beautifully adorned with Christmas decorations all over building, store, or church, you take another shot. When the main girl gets off the phone with the model from New York and runs into her old boyfriend from high school, who's also a model, you take a shot. So you don't get very far before. So I don't play the drinking game. I just think it's hilarious that there's a drinking game after a movie I don't want to call it a plot because that would indicate that there's like creativity put to it. But people watch this stuff. That's why they keep making them. Of course, we kick off the Black Friday Christmas movie spree with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, a phenomenal watch. If you've never seen it, you're probably not American or you're probably not human, because I've never run into a person who's never seen this movie. Such a good one and a great one to kick off the Christmas holiday season. Guys, that's what I got for today. I just wanted to get on and share some stories with you. I hope your holiday season gets kicked off to a great start. Thanks for listening.